So yesterday some task was assigned to you, and that task was proving for a conversion sum, even if we interchange the sequences, then still the result is the same. That is summation k equal to 0 to infinity hk xn minus k is same as summation k equal to 0 to infinity xk h of n minus k. And I am very much sure that almost all of you, or at least few of you, have not done it. You done it? So this concept of convolution is very much important. For discrete time systems as well as for continuous systems, it becomes convolution integral. But for discrete time systems, it is convolution sum. So this convolution sum provides us the output for a system with the given sequence and input. So in general, convolution is nothing but some kind of operation of two sequences amongst each other. It is a particular mixing or twisting and mixing. It's not a simple mixing that is adding something like that. It's very typical in nature. Therefore, we just try to understand to ourselves what we mean by convolution and its impact as regards to the impulse function, unit impulse function, because yesterday only we have seen that if we apply impulse as input, we get the system function as output. So now for us, we have got a sequence x of n which may have different values for different index number n, which may be any integer, either 0 or positive or even negative. For simplicity, we have considered x of n, if n is less than 1, is 0, but it is not an essential condition. Same thing is with h also, same thing is with y also, because ultimately to what we say as 0, we have the difficulty. To what we say as 0, it is just a reference point, not something beyond that. So in general, we have a convolution is operation over at least two sequences. Convolution is operation amongst sequences. Operation amongst sequences. For simplicity further, to understand the theme in a proper manner, we consider finite length sequences, and then we can extend the same to infinite length sequences. We consider finite length sequences, and then we will extend it to infinite length sequences. Is it okay? So for that purpose, we may have one sequence x1n. So right now I am using x1, x2 and x3 because we are now studying convolution independently. And whatever expression we have studied yesterday, that was for a system. And then later on we will prove that the system output is the convolution of system input and system function. Both are sequences. So x1n is one sequence, x2n is another sequence. Again, for simplicity, let us at the beginning have a sequence which starts at n equal to 0 and which ends somewhere. Ends somewhere means beyond that this sequence is having all 0 values. So x1n is a sequence which is having, say, some finite number of points n1. x1n is having a length of n1, means what? It has got the values for x1n as non-zero if and only if small n is between 0 to n1 minus 1. Is it clear? Or being length, let us just change it to L1, so that no confusion there will be small and capital, because while uttering we may not be conscious to utter small or capital, and it may, and if ever you are busy in looking something else and listening the lecture after recording later on, then that may create some understanding problems, provided that you are very much sincere, at least listening the lecture, during the lecture and after it's a replay. Then similarly x2 is having length L2, right? Then rather than formula first, I will explain the process of actual computing, and then automatically we will fit it into the formula. So for simplicity further, we take L1 equal to 4 and L2 equal to 4. 4 is chosen because it is sufficiently large so that the things are not very much simple, which if we take length as 1, then in that situation the process is so simple that you will not be able to understand it's a convolution. If we take the length to be too large, then it will unnecessarily increase our computational overhead. So 4 is a length chosen with some specific purpose. So let us have some values. It is expressed like this: 1, 2, 3 and 4. Means what? And always practice to have an arrow of 0 here, or only arrow. Only arrow indicates it is index is 0. x1 0, x1 1, x1 2, x1 3, and this may be having 1, 3, 5 and 7. So these are two sequences of length 4 each, x1n and x2n. In this lecture, I am explaining convolution in the same simplified manner where arithmetic is being taught at high school stage, so that there should not be any possibility of non-understanding. Unless you are determined not to understand, you will automatically understand despite your will. If you maintain a strong will not to understand, then only it will make some difficulty in understanding. So both of these are 4-point sequences. Then the process of convolution is like this. So I write the sequences on the left hand side: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 3, 5, 7. So that we get the blackboard available here for computation. x1 convolve with x2. So what do we do? The process is very simple. We write first sequence as it is: 1, 2, 3 and 4. We write first sequence as it is, that is x1 of n as it is. Then the second sequence, what do we do? We mirror image around 0. We mirror image around 0 means it is taken, presume that it is on some strip, a scale, and it is folded in this manner, right? It is folded around 0. If it is folded around 0, what would be the, and that we can say we can name some signal that is not x2n. It is what we can say. It is not x2. So we have to give some name which is different than x2. So I deliberately give the name as x20n. x20n. Are you getting me? x20n is a signal which is mirror image around 0. So when it is mirror imaged, I hope that you have understood completely the flapping like this. So what happens? What would be x200? 1. It is mirror image around 0. So x20 is, and now I write index here. Index. It is simplified in such a manner that there should not be any confusion. Index -1, -2, -3. x1n. What is x1n? 0, 0, 0. I can have index 4 also. What is it? It is 0. Is it clear? So that original sequence x1n is 1, 2, 3, 4 for index 0, 1, 2, 3, 0 afterwards, 0 previously. We will make it somewhat equidistant. Is it correct now? Now x20n. What x20n would be? x20n would be x200 is 1 and mirror imaged. So x2 minus 1 would be 3, 5, and 7. Beyond that I will not draw because it would be 0 again. Or it is better that we may draw that index, or rather index I can write as n, correct? N, x1n and x20n. x20n, index is -4, it is 0 and it is also 0, and this is 0. Is it clear now? Is it okay? Then what is to be done now? We have to multiply sample by sample x1n and x20n for all samples from n equal to -infinity to n equal to infinity. You have to multiply by all samples. But we are now sure that this multiplication is going to be a meaningless multiplication because both are zeros. Beyond this and before this, therefore multiplication is meaningful only in this window of 7 samples. That too, again out of these 6 products are 0 and only one product is 1. So sample by sample products are to be written. Sample by sample products are to be written. Those are now 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0 and 0 on this side and 0 on this side. This is what it is, x1n into x20n. It is sample by sample multiplication. Sample by sample multiplication. Right? Sample by sample multiplication. And then this is to be summed up. This is to be summed up. So what is this? It's summation n equal to infinity minus infinity to infinity, summation of x1n and x20n, where 20n is the mirror image around 0. Mirror image around 0. Is it correct? And that sum will be sum. That sum will come as sum. Is it right? So what that sum will come right now? 1. And this is y0n. That is the or this is the 0th term in the, if we say x3n, not y0 we not use. x3n is x1n convolved. Star is the symbol. Is it coming in the image?
Yes.
Yeah. Convolved x to n, then it is x30. The term x30. One term we have computed. One term we have computed. Now, this signal of interest x20 is quite peculiar now. So x20 is mirror image around 0. Mirror image around 0. This now can be shifted either on that side or on this side. This signal, what we have done? We have just flipped around, not shifted yet. So this we call as x20n. x20n. Now this we can shift like this and like this also. Like this shift we do not require actually. We may shift like this, or if we want we can shift this way also. So if we shift it once, it becomes x21n. x21n. So what that will become? We shift it like this, x21n. So 0 as it is, no issues. This signal will shift, right? It is not this signal. This part is over now. This signal. So it is shifted like this. So what will happen? 0, 7, 5, 3, 1, 0. It's okay? It is x1, x21n. x21n. It's okay. And then again what is to be done? x1n and x21n sample to sample multiplication. So that we can write x1n into x21n. Then what that will come? 0, 0,
0, 0,
0,
0,
0,
3,
3, 2, 0, 0, 0, onwards. Oh, so that, what is that summation then?
4,
5.
That will be equal to
5.
5, and that is the term x3 1. So this 1 is the index for this. So you just compute what would be x22n. x22n. What that would be? One more shift. 7, 5, 3, 1. So that will be 14, right? That will be 14. So you can compute in this way till your shifted signal would be now 7, 5, 3, 1. It's 7, 5, 3, 1. And then when it goes out, 7, 5, 3, 1, all 0 terms will be there. So you will be getting x26 will also be material. x26. So you can completely find out x30, x31, x32 and so on. So what the convolved output would be, and on this side shift is not needed because if you can shift but all are being 0 here, it's of no use that way. So compute convolution. This computation is required because if and only if all of you are able to compute this, then only I understand that convolution is understood by you. So x1n is 1, 2, 3, 4, x2n is 1, 3, 5, 7. Determine x3n, which is convolution of x1n and x2n. In the recorded lecture also some such pause will remain, because a student who wants to see it again should also spend time in computing that time also. Absentee of 16 students is non-tolerable. What is the answer? Found out the answer? Each time you did not write down everything. You can simply, on the sliding window type, you can find out the answer. First is 1, second is 5, third is 14, fourth is
30,
30, fifth is
41,
41, sixth is 41, sixth again 41?
yes,
628.
Oh, 20.
628.
So first with 0th is 1, x30 is 1, x31 is 5, x32 is 14, x33
30,
30, x34
41,
41, x35
40,
how you tell me 41? Is 41 again?
yes,
Yes. It will be 40, no? 41, after 41, 40. Right?
so 41, 41,
21 plus 20.
21 plus 20,
Yeah, correct. 40, 41, 41. Then 28, then 0. The convolution is commutative. Commutative means when we are convolving with x2, we are taking x1 as it is and mirror image of x2 and rotating, shifting that. We can have reverse also. Have x2 as it is, have x2 as it is, and mirror image x1, and you will find that we get the same thing again. The convolution is commutative. Convolution is commutative. Even if both sequences are infinite, do you see some problem in computing? Even if both sequences are infinite, let us presume that both of them start from 0. That is, for n equal to a value less than 0, those are zeros. So in that case, if length is infinite, will you find some problem? No, because one you can write down, other you can mirror image and take. In that case, it will be having infinite length. So if both are having finite length, what if first length is L1 and next length is L2? What would be the length of the convolved sequence? The length would be L1 plus L2 minus 1. Length would be L1 plus L2 minus 1. Then now the next task, can you put this process in a mathematical formula? Think over. Can you put this process into a mathematical formula? Whatever we have done, x3n what we have got, x3n is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x1n it is summation of sample to sample multiplications of original sequence and shifted sequence in an appropriate manner. It is x2n. I have used this as a exit. It can't be put in a formula like this. It can't put in a formula, but for simplicity I am showing that. Means I have just deliberately given, means x2n is a different sequence. So how can we write x2n? x2n is a different sequence. How can we write that appropriately? How can you write that appropriately? So this sample to sample multiplication can be alternatively explained. This is not a, even though this is a non-classical formulatic representation of what we did, we want to put it into a classical formula. I again repeat, we deliberately started from a thing which we understand, and then we try to take this to a classical definition. So x3n is equal to, first is x1n will remain as it is, a summation would be there. What this x, the sequence x2n n is, and again one thing which is very clear is that when n is here, n should not come here. It is confusing. Therefore, what do we do?
Change the variable.
To change the variable. To change the variable. Then, what this you can represent as x20n is what? x20n is what? x20n, is it x2 of minus n? Is it x2 of minus n? Is it x2 of minus n? Do you agree? x2 of minus n. Because it is, I hope everybody of you understood. It is x2 of minus n. It is x2 of minus n.
Minus n plus 1.
What is x21n? So we just write by my x20n is x2 of minus n. Correct?
Minus n.
What is x21n? x2 of 1 minus n. Correct? x2 of 1 minus n or minus n minus 1?
Minus into bracket, minus into bracket.
That is 1 minus n, right? x2 of 1 minus n, and so on. Same to it. So when I'm interested to find a particular term n, means I can write x3 of 0 as, I will not write formula directly, x3 of 0 as, x3 of 0 I can write, I will use deliberately some other variable, right now it doesn't matter for me, x1k means original x1 as it is, into x2 of minus k, and k varying from what I can write?
0 to
Now we need not to stick to 0.
minus n.
Right now we are not considered, but we can also consider that. What we can
Minus n.
consider?
Minus n.
K equal to 0.
When I shift it like this, okay, at this juncture, for k equal to minus infinity to infinity, it is immaterial now, because their terms are not there, terms are 0. This is x1 n is original sequence x1k, and this is x2 of minus k. This is x1 of k, and this is x2 of minus k. Right? And on this side, one is 0, on the other side, other is 0. So even if I include minus infinity, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me at all. Is it okay? Or at this juncture, if you want, you can choose the 0 also on one side. Then x3 of 1, how I can write? x3 of 1 is what? x1 of product of x1 of k multiplied by x2 of 1 minus k. Limits are same. What is x3 of 2? Is it okay? And this minus k, can I write 0 minus k? x30 is, so I hope now why I use k word here, just to index is different. x30 is k equal minus infinity x1k x2 0 minus k, x1k x2 1 minus k, x1k x2 2 minus k. So with this, only a fool will not be able to find a generalized formula. So x1 0, when I have 0 appears here, when 1 I have 1 appears here, when 2 I have 2 appears here. Other than that, there is no difference. So what is x3 of n then? It is k equal to
Minus infinity to
infinity x1 of k and x2 of n minus k. Is it clear now? This is the definition of convolution sum. This is the definition
x1
for
of
x1 of
k.
k. This is the definition of convolution sum. x3n is equal to x1k into x2n minus k for k equal to minus infinity to infinity. For k equal to minus infinity to infinity, it would be significantly 0 to infinity if we are having signals are having 0 values for index less than 0, because that time if index becomes negative, the first term will become immediately 0. Is it clear? Or say you can later on prove that the convolution is commutative. So in that case, it can also be written as x3 of n is equal to summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity x2 of k into x1 of n minus k. Convolution is commutative in nature. Is it clear? So in today's lecture, we could start with the concept of convolution, its actual computation in a mechanical manner like high school level arithmetic, and later on from that we could derive the formula, which is a classical formula. Is it clear now? Convolution is take one signal, mirror image other signal around 0, have sample to sample multiplication, that would be the 0th term of the convolved sequence. Slide it here to get the terms 1, 2, 3. You may slide it backwards to get the terms
Minus 1, minus 2.
minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. In all, if both the sequences are of finite length, then the convolved sequence would be of finite length, and the length would be L1 plus L2 minus 1. Right? So as to test whether you understood convolution properly or not, we will have a very simple example. Convolve the following two sequences. x1n equal to 1, 2 and 3, but and x2n arrow indicates that it is 0th term. So x10 is 2, x1 minus 1 is 1, and x11 is 3. So sometimes shock treatment is important. That take an example that there can be a term for index less than 1, so that particular block gets removed. So if we start with PNP transistor, in that case that would not have acted as a block. But once we start the NPN transistor, that is somewhat simpler. So switching to PNP become somewhat difficult, just like left and right. So find out how it would be having 4 non-zero terms. It will have 4 non-zero terms. What? What 70?
80.
It can't have one answer. What 18?
X2
Convolution of two sequences is a sequence.
476.
1
476.
476.
x1n is, now we can write n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. x1n 1, 2, 3 and minus 1, 5.
Sir, we have 0 to 2.
0 is the 2.
Sorry. Explain at the top what it was. It's okay? Right? Now shift it. So it is
1 2. Make it a 2 0.
so around 0 is to shift it. 1 and 2 on this side. 1 and 2 on this side. Right?
Yes.
Is it okay? And this is 0, this is 0. 4 it come?
4.
Correct? 4 and 2 and 2, that is 4. Right? Now,
Shift it.
we shift it on this side. 2, 1,
7.
7.
then shift it further. 2 and 1, what is 6? But one thing has remained. What is that?
Left shift.
Shift it on the
Left side.
other side. So that is how it is. 1 here and 2 here. That term is 1, right? But that is not. It should have been shifted, means the convolved x3 of minus 1 would be 1,
X3 of
x3
0.
of 0 would be 4, x3 of 1
7.
would be 7,
X3 of 2.
and x3 of 6 would be,
X3 of 2.
sorry, x3 of 2 would be 6. So when we take mirror image, that gives you the 0th term in the convolution sum. When you shift on the further side, you get terms 1, 2 and 3. When you shift on the other side, you get terms minus 1, minus 2, minus 2. So that when that overlap is over, beyond both sides, the answer was 0. So the answer is 1, 4, 7, 6 with arrow here. Correct? x3 0 is 4, x3 1 is 7, x3 2 is 6, and x3 minus 1 is 1. Recording.